Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my first video and today I'm going to bring you a really fun ranger build. So here's how it goes. For attributes you want to put everything in finesse and the rest in wits. Memory here comes from one of the talents and it's just there so that you can play around with more spells. For ability, the first thing you want to do is max ranged, and the reason why you want ranged is for the critical chance. Then you want to do warfare just because it's really strong and it deals the most damage, and then you want to do huntsman just for more damage and for the skills that you get with it. The reason why I have scoundrel is that I actually have 3 from the items just because that's what they happen to have. But you want 1 point here because it's really fun to use the pawn, and the critical multiplier. It's also pretty good. You have 1 polymorph, and the reason why I have a polymorph is because you can use chicken as a disable, and because you deal mainly physical damage, then your disable is going to be very you're going to be able to use it often. Okay, and so this is just from items. And then for civil abilities, the game has like they're like very interesting, like they don't really do much for combat, so I just have it in Lore Master. Because, more I guess for roleplay, because she's like, one of her talents is Lore Mastery, and then here sneaking just cause. So for the talents, see that's where she has a Lore Master. All skilled up and bigger and better are pretty good, just so that you do more damage. So is Hothead, and then Mnemonic is here just to have more spells, and then the pawn is for the mobility. I'm gonna show a sample battle, and it'll show why it has many uses. Out of these, some of the others that you could have are things like Far Out Man, if you wanna use one of the skills to snipe even more damage. Glass Cannon's alright. Guerrilla's alright, but that's more for a sniper build that I can maybe show later. Pet Pal you can also put on this one because you might need one of your characters to have it. And I think that's about it on the ones that are pretty usable for this build. You can also use Executioner because you get to kill a lot, but I feel like you're kind of cheesing the game sometimes when you do this build. It's not as satisfying as using the mobility. And then Water Rush is okay, but it's like kind of specific and you're really far away, you're not really taking much damage. And for instruments, the Bansuri is pretty good. So now we're going to go over the skills. So the reason why you get so much finesse is because almost all of your abilities get a boost from finesse, and you want to go really high DPS. Okay, so the basic combo that you want to start with is Flesh Sacrifice, because it'll give you 1 action point and extra damage. It'll also make a puddle, which then you can combo with elemental arrowheads to get a good physical damage boost. These here are for your escape. You have 3 mobility, and they're really useful. Next is Ballistic Shot, and we want to usually start the battle as far away and use Ballistic Shot because it does a lot of damage. Ricochet is also a very useful skill. You mainly want to use this one when an enemy is very low, or not very low, but low enough that killing him might be a waste of shot. So usually Ricochet and try to get the other one. Or if somebody's behind the target, you can usually get the Ricochet. Marksman's Fang is also a really good skill. It's really powerful. And the piercing damage is really useful. You mainly want to use this when the magic part of your team is doing really well. They might have somebody down and they still have high physical armor, so you can use the Fang to help finish off. Pin down is a really situational skill. It costs a lot, but against like maybe good players, disables are really effective, so that's why this one's here. Reactive shot, it's the same. It's also very specific. For example, if somebody says reactive shot on me, I have a lot of skills to get out, so it's usually easy to get out. But if you know that they can't escape it, then it can give you 3 pretty much free attacks. First aid and peace of mind are here for buffs and debuffs to help out your team. Peace of mind actually comes from one of the runes that gives you critical and 1 pyro, so that's what's really good to have this one here. Chicken is also another of your disables. Because you're physical, it'll be very easy for you. There'll be many openings where you can actually just hop over and chicken claw with your dagger, and I'm gonna show that later. Same rubber pretender is just part of the combo with the chicken claw. Chloroform is for your magic. If you need a little bit of magic damage for something, and it's also really good for sleeping, another disable, and it scales off finesse. It's really useful. Cloak and Dagger is also another great escape. It really works well with Chameleon Cloak. I have your Chameleon Cloak as part of an item. It's not really necessary, but it's just here. Another thing you can have instead is if you want to put another point in Polymorph, you can get Wings, and that's pretty useful for moving around and getting high ground. Sky Shot's also pretty good. That's just part of one of the items I have, so it's just chilling here on the side. And then Adrenaline is for those for like the clutch moves when you just want to kill someone or you just need that extra turn. Here are the arrows for if you want to help out doing magic stuff. You have a couple of arrows. Uh, Torture also works really well in this build, one of the talents. I just don't have it for this demo because otherwise then everybody's just going to be like perma-stunned or like perma-charmed or whatever. But these are really useful for like tough battles. If you're doing like really challenging battles, they works really well. And and that's pretty much it for the skills. For the equipment, this is the way I usually go. I usually go as much of you can with finesse or warfare or wits or something like that. Like the helmet has a lot of wits and warfare, so it's pretty good. The necklace, again, the wits and the warfare. And the rune is pretty good, it gives you 12%, and with the pyrokinetic, that's how we get the clear mind. This one again has everything we need, and I try to prioritize for this build the stats more than the actual armor they give you, because you're pretty tanky anyway, and you're trying to be far away. This ring is really powerful, really good. Again, just wits, like see, like this one just has wits, finesse. The bow, 3 finesse. There are some bows that give you 20% critical attack, so when I find one of those, I'm gonna probably swap it out for that. Boots, again, you want prioritize finesse or critical strike. For example, these gloves, they give me 4 critical strike, and that's like the best that I found so far, even though they're really low level. That give me any overall boosts. Yep, same with the chest piece. Eventually you want them to have slots to put stuff in. But just try to prioritize those finesse, warfare, wits, huntsman. Try to get the most bonus of those. For special mentions, we have the dagger in items, and the way that you use this is for the chicken and tendon combo. So usually what will happen is that if you hit an enemy and you can get rid of their physical armor, you can use adrenaline and you'll have 6 points. Then with one of them you'll switch to the dagger. With the other you can hop with cloak and dagger, and that'll leave you 4. which lets you do chicken claw and rupture tendons. So this move's actually very useful for tight spots or really powerful enemies. The dagger itself, that's what I use it for. So you can just do it with very high damage, like and maybe stats or whatever you may want. This ranger build is very versatile. You're able to combo off really well. For example, back to the chicken example. Ivan's just here supporting. He's just basically chilling. But if he chickens somebody, with just 4 points, you can switch to dagger, hop over, and then do the rupture tendons. And if you want to do flesh sacrifice, you could even do flesh sacrifice and maybe use tactical retreat to hop back out. Or you can use adrenaline if you want to do even more moves. Or you can even chameleon away. So it combos off really well. Same with the magic users. If something has low magic, you can help out because this one sets out sleeping after. So for those that may have, a little bit of magic armor left, like 500 or something, you can try this and buy yourself a turn. And if not, all of the elemental arrows, they work really well with your magic characters. For example, you can have like a target that's on fire. You can shoot a poison arrow. You can shoot an electric arrow if somebody has put like wet because of rain. So it's very versatile. Okay, so that was it for the build. For the replay, because it's 20 minutes long, I'm gonna do it in the next video. Otherwise, the video would probably be too long. Let me know if you guys have any questions or what else, what other type of videos you want to see, or if you liked it. And hopefully I'll see you next video.